This afternoon and speak on this matter, and to firstly welcome the incredible contribution that's been announced today by the Australian Labor Party, the $2.15 million in the captive breeding program for the Maugean skate. It is a significant offer to ensure the certain future of the Maugean skate for the Australian Labor Party to make such a contribution following engagement and consultation with industry and other players in Tasmania to recognise the importance of such an action in the future of the skate. In lots of conversations that I have had and heard, and I just heard then a member, today's theme has been all about honesty, but I heard a member say, the only reason why we talk about the future of the skate is because of activists and others, but that discounts the fact that the Tasmanian salmon industry, along with others in Tasmania, have been actively seeking to support the future of the Maugean skate for many years. In 2021, they wrote to the Federal Minister saying it was essential that work was done and more work was done to support the Maugean skate. A while ago, they invested $500,000 in a species recovery plan for the Maugean skate in Macquarie Harbour, and just recently they committed $750,000 to the priority actions coming out of the Maugean skate recovery plan. $750,000 that they were able to leverage matching funds from the FRDC to ensure that $1.5 million would be invested in those priority actions. So to say that it's only because of activists that action and attention is taken to what all Tasmanians want to ensure has a positive future in the Maugean skate is just utterly misleading and untrue. Like so many things that are said within this state and from other places to tarnish the great reputation of Australia's most valuable seafood sector. The Tasmanian salmon industry is Australia's most valuable seafood sector. It contributes $1.3 billion a year to the Tasmanian economy. It is responsible for employing most and many of regional and rural Tasmanians and for sustaining the livelihoods in many remote communities in Tasmania. It is Tasmania's largest primary industry, and one that in such a short period of time has captured the attention and the regard internationally for the work that has done here and that commences here, the innovations that have been developed here and are now used all around the world, and has ensured that it contributes to communities and businesses right across Tasmania. There's a figure of the number of people that are employed directly by the salmon industry, but one of the things that I love is not just the advocacy of, say, Salmon Tasmania and the different companies, the 3 companies that operate here, but I love that there's been an alliance formed that recognises the full range of businesses that benefit from these operations in Tasmania as well. And we know that when we're dealing sensitively with the future of the Maugean skate in Macquarie Harbour, we're equally dealing sensitively with the ongoing viability of West Coast communities in Tasmania. It accounts for almost 17% of the jobs on the West Coast, over 100 jobs just in Strahan alone, this industry, and to make any decisions not founded on solid science that might actually cause this industry to be unviable on the West Coast will have ramifications not just in the small community of Strahan or the communities of the West Coast, but will significantly have ramifications right across Tasmania. And so it's when people cherry pick quotes from reports that I start to be concerned, because the report that was released today, curiously on Threatened Species Day, around the conservation advice for the Maugean skate, you don't have to go too far into the report to actually get some clarification about some of the comments that have either been used in the media today or in this place. And yes, there is a recognition that industries, operations in place, wherever that place may be, and whether it be the aquaculture, whether it be salmon, whether it be mining, whether it be hydro, whether in fact it be climate change, things do have an impact, and the important thing is to understand scientifically what that impact is, and as the Environment Minister himself has said, and then expertly consider the balance required in the responses to that to ensure both the social and the environmental balance going forward. But it's only on page 2 of this document. There's a summary for the document, and although there's been sort of radical and attempts at quite astounding or shocking comments to be made about the immediate reduction of biomass and the things that need to be done to support the skate, actually what this document says is that the Maugean skate is included in a 2023 finalised priority assessment, with that assessment due to be assessed in the listing by 2024. But there are some actions here to support it not going extinct. And it's important when you read a document to read all of the words. It does say increasing the levels of dissolved oxygen in Macquarie Harbour via reduction in salmonoid aquaculture organic loads and/or the utilisation of mechanical engineering environmental remediation technologies. Now, we know that there are recommendations about the mechanical oxygenation of Macquarie Harbour, and that they are there is evidence to say that that can be beneficial to the area. So it's not just one action that is being sought in terms of the Maugean skate in Macquarie Harbour, but it is an and/or offer by this scientific group, the Threatened Species Scientific Committee, which I'll note for the benefit of those people listening or interested, the members of that were appointed by the former federal Liberal government and has had ongoing consultation with the Tasmanian Liberal government. So the information in this is not a surprise to them, or it has been, although it has been a surprise to many others, that it's not just, and I think I heard the words before, looking for the most fast and simplistic response, but looking for what is actually documented here with an and/or response. But in standing this afternoon, Tasmanian Labor want to make sure that the people of the salmon industry know that we back them in. We back in the workers, we back in the industry, and we back in the communities that they serve. They make a massive contribution, and they should be recognised and supported for the work that they do.
Inspector Young, member for Franklin.
Hear, hear.
Good job.
Thank you, Mr Deputy Speaker. Well, once again, we've heard from the Leader of the Greens that it doesn't pay to be a farmer, of any sort, on land, on water.